seems like Israel's so-called best friends are spending their time attacking the Jewish state. Or if not exactly attacking, certainly criticizing the Jewish state. This is in the middle of a war for Israel's very survival. And I think it's utter nonsense, completely unhelpful. Now, here's a Washington Post headline, and I'll quote: Israeli troops fight in the heart of Gaza City amid global calls for pause. Everybody wants a pause, don't they? Everybody talks pause, that is, except Israel, because the IDF is getting the job done. That's the key. Aaron Cohn's going to be on in a few minutes. The job being to annihilate Hamas. That's the key objective. Now, the G7 countries are calling for a pause, of course. Fox has confirmed that Biden has, in fact, pressed Netanyahu for a 3-day ceasefire. A terrible idea. The president and Blinken have been pushing for this for over a week. There's no difference between a pause and a ceasefire. There's just political semantics. Why should Israel stop the momentum? They're already into the heart of Gaza City. Defense Minister Gallant, repeating Prime Minister Netanyahu, says no humanitarian pause without the return of all the hostages. That is a most sensible point of view. What about that view? Why don't the G7 and Biden and Blinken understand that point of view? And by the way, Israel has had small pauses to allow Gaza civilians to evacuate. There's an extraordinary scene, a picture from the New York Sun, Benny Avni's story, a great reporter, showing Israeli soldiers escorting Gazan civilians fleeing from Hamas with a white flag. Israeli soldiers escorting them with a white flag. Israel's not getting any credit for these humane gestures. Look, war is hell. It's awful. There are unfortunately very high costs, just as there were in World War II, in places like Dresden or Berlin, or for that matter, Hiroshima. This is a just war that was started by Hamas's barbaric murdering of 1,400 people. Frankly, the G7 ought to keep its yap shut, and so should Biden Blinken. Why don't they defend America's honor and security, which is under attack by nearly 50 terrorist missiles? Lay down a marker. Send a tough message like stopping an Iranian oil ship on its way to selling its cargo to China, which would then give Iran even more money to finance this dreadful war. Barack Obama is saying, Obama, he's saying nobody's hands are clean. Really? Actually, sir, your hands are not clean. You gave Iran $1.7 billion in cash and gold bars, and then released another $100 billion in frozen assets. That's the kind of money that Iran used to finance terrorism right up to October 7th. No, Mr. Obama, I'm sorry. Your hands are bloody here. And President Biden, of course, following the direction of Obama, and worse, has essentially ended the financial and energy sanctions on Iran, giving them even more money. So Mr. Biden's hands are very dirty. You know, in the terrorist game, like all war, money is ultimately the key. Speaking of money, why isn't there any widespread media coverage of the great New York Post article today on the Hamas billionaires living in Qatar in a life of luxury? You got to get this story. The head of the Politburo, the head of the Hamas Politburo, the head of foreign relations, and another leader, the three of them have a combined total of $11 billion fortune. One of them is some kind of ping pong champion. Isn't that great? This is the height of hypocrisy. Poverty in Gaza, almost unrivaled. But not these guys. Where's the coverage of this outrage? And then lately, Secretary of State Blinken, he wants to pick a new fight with Israel over post-war plans. Well, before we get to post-war, how about publicly praising our so-called best friend for his tremendous wartime performance? Meanwhile, Israel doesn't want to run Gaza. They have to secure it for a while after blowing up the Hamas terrorists, but they don't want to govern it. Blinken creating a straw horse in order to beat it down in the middle of a war for Israel's survival? Talk about infidelity and stupidity. And Joe Biden's mentor, Barack Obama, who still may be running the White House for all we know, well, he's still saying that Israel occupied Gaza. No, they didn't. Gaza, originally run by the PLO, then they had elections, and the Palestinians in 2007 voted for Hamas. Hamas has been running Gaza for 16 years. Let me repeat that. Hamas has been running Gaza for 16 years. That's not an occupation. Why doesn't Blinken and his pals get the story straight? There's a factual history here. Mr. Biden, Mr. Blinken should stop nitpicking Israel. You know, do something constructive for a change. Save Israel. Save America. Why don't you just stop a ship? Come to think of it, stop several oil ships. Send a message to Iran for once.